Hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Yi-Cheng, your Mandarin teacher online. Today is a new start of our new series, which is called LLT. It can be Learn a Language for Travel or Let's Learn Together. So in this one, I'm going to learn something and you learn something too. We learn together. We keep each other accountable. Of course, ourselves is the key point here to stay learning and just keep ourselves accountable. But having someone to learn together can be helpful as well. In this one, because I teach language, and what I'm going to do is teaching you Mandarin. But if you actually are learning some other language, it's also okay. The point is, I want to create a feeling like we are a studying group. We learn different things, but we can encourage each other. We can just help each other to make sure we keep learning and making progress. So LLT part 1, we're going to talk about some questions, some important things. First one, what's your target language? For me, I'm learning Hindi. And I'm not sure for you, maybe you're learning Japanese, English, or something else. But in this series, besides me learning Hindi for myself, I will also teach whatever I learn in Hindi, but I will teach you the Mandarin version. So next question. How long before you set off for the trip? Because as we say, this is like LLT, learn a language for travel. My key point here is traveling. So what I'm going to focus on learning is for the things I would need or I would want to talk about when I travel in India. So my time is about 11 months. So far, me and my friend plan on having our trip by the end of 2023. Maybe it's October or November, around that time. How about you? What's your plan? Where are you going? How long before you set off for that trip? Next one, what's your current level of the target language? I don't know about yours, but I just started technically probably at the end of October this year. I kind of started, but something happened in my career, which is teaching Mandarin online. My income reduced a lot. I was kind of like very stressed at that time. So I put learning Hindi on the side. I put it aside and try to focus on improving my financial first at that time. Now I'm kind of like doing what I can each day for my financial situation plus my learning progress. I didn't specifically learn the pronunciation. If you're learning Mandarin, I don't know if you have learned Pinyin or something. I'm learning Hindi, and I didn't really even start by learning their pronunciation first. I start with whatever sentences or phrases I want, and I listen to it. So I like to find material that has audio or video because it can help me listen to their pronunciation directly, learning the things I want to talk about or I want to say or I want to pronounce. And I made my list of things I want to learn. Something are essential for me. How about you? What's your current level? For example, if you are learning Japanese, have you learned their what is that called, the writing thing? Hirakana and katakana. Have you learned that? Have you learned how to pronounce those and so on? Next question is, how much time will you dedicate to it? For me, after I figured out probably around beginning and middle of November, I realized what I can do for my financial situation and my learning, progress. I slowly figured out my routine. Every day, either I spend some time in the morning for the first thing. Of course, I will feed my cats the canned food for them, which is something they are looking forward to every morning, and make my coffee. So after that, I will either read a book or I will start a Hindi video. It can be just like 30 seconds learning one sentence, phrases, or a grammar point, simple grammar point. In Hindi, oh my goodness, their grammar, it's much more complicated comparing to Mandarin, I would say. So their verb would change according to is it singular or plural, is it masculine or feminine. So they also have present, past, future, and all those time tense. So it's not like I watch one video talking about, for example, if it is the verb to want, okay, want something. I'm not learning like present tense, past tense, future tense all in one sitting. It's just maybe the basic, which is like present simple for want this verb. How do you say it and how do you use it according to each different subject? Do I need to focus on learning he, she, they combined with the verb? We, they, plural, you? No. What I focus on first is using the sentence I, dot, 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 because that's essential for me when I travel. Gonna, I first need to say like, oh, I want this. I don't want that, right? I don't need to keep saying, he wants this. He doesn't want that, right? So I'm focusing on like the most essential thing. And either it's in the morning first thing or before I go to sleep. So I would lay in bed, chill, relax, and then just watch whatever I just mentioned. It doesn't make me feel like too excited. It does make me feel like I finished something today. Something make me feel accomplished. Is that the right word? Accomplished? I made some accomplishment today for my learning. It makes me feel good. Okay. So either morning or nighttime. At least a short video or a note review. I love making notes. I would list out things I want to learn. If I learn a phrase just by a 30-second video, I would write it down into my note. I just use Google Keep. I'm not a technology guru or something. I don't know a lot about like Notion, those kind of note-taking app and so on. So I just use Google Keep. I will list out the things I want to learn, and then I will update with the Hindi version once I learn something. And then this is the smaller step for every day. And then the bigger step after that is at least 2 hours a week. So even though it's just short video, I still want to make sure at least I dedicate at least 2 hours per week for learning Hindi. Due to my working schedule is very irregular, sometimes I do have quite a lot of time for myself. I want to make sure I spend more time learning at that case rather than just browsing on Instagram and, looking at those like fun posts. It's not like it's bad, but I would like to, encourage myself, dedicate some more time to it. So this is my steps. And then for having lessons online, because I am a, what is that called? Collecting kind of person. I love collecting a lot of information before I have lesson. I would take a lot of notes from videos, grammar points and stuff. And then I like to have something to really talk about with the teacher online and so on. So far, I took one lesson already. And I think in December, I would take another one to see how much I have progressed. But of course, before that lesson, I will still continue to repeat after videos whenever I watch one or listen to some audio file and so on. Make sure you practice speaking, even when you're by yourself, even when you are not having a lesson with a teacher. Okay? How about you? How much time can you and will you dedicate it to it? Write it down. Keep yourself accountable. Accountable. Next one. What are important to you? Okay. For me, ordering food, greetings. I'm not gonna learn a lot of complicated one. Just like what I'm going to teach you Mandarin is because we are learning for our travel. Okay. You are not learning for like having an exam just textbook based or something. So I'm gonna teach you the key points, just the essential ones. Me too. I check out some videos. There are multiple ways to greet people. There's like good morning and good afternoon in Hindi. Do they use it often? No, so I'm not gonna use that. I just gonna use the one is official and formal term, even though they say this is very formal and a lot of people talking to their friends, they probably don't use it. But if you are a foreigner and you are trying your best to learn their language, that's what it counts. I think that is the essential one I'm gonna learn for now. If I feel like learning more different way, then of course I will try. But keep it essential, keep it minimum. That's my key, okay? Shoppings and politeness like thank you, sorry, excuse me, food term, drinks term, essential verbs like want. I want this, I want that. Okay. May I da da da. And then interrogative, is that the word, how you say it? Interrogative question words or sentence like where is something something? How much is da da da? How long does it take from here to da 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 place? Okay. May I do da 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 da? May I blah blah blah? Like that. That would be my essentials. And I'm gonna just learn as minimum as possible. When I said that, is because as me like teaching over 5 years, I noticed of course there are multiple ways to just express one same thing. But learn the essential one. Learn the one that is generally used and it's commonly used. You don't need to learn all of them if you are especially learning for travel and if you don't have a lot of time to prepare before you use this language. How about you? What's yours? What are important to you? Write it down as clear as possible. I actually have even another paper list that write down things I want. I also use Google Keep to write down the sentences I want to learn. For example, I want more lemon, something like that. Okay. Next one. What help do you need for keeping yourself accountable? For me, my big reason, which is I love learning the language in like which is used in the place I'm going to travel to. Because I really want to use the language to kind of like greet the people there, talk to the people there. Of course, everyone would say if you go to the big city and so on, if you go to their center, because a lot of tourists go there, they know how to speak English. It's fine if you just speak English. Of course, I know, but for some reason, speaking local people's language make me feel so good. So that's my big reason. If I don't have this big reason, it probably will be difficult for me to even start learning a new language. For example, I so far don't plan on going to Japan or something, or I don't plan on going to Korea. If someone wants me, or one day I say, oh, maybe I should learn Korean, I would give up like the first day because I don't see why I learned it. Okay. So I need my big reason. That's why Your big reason is very important. Write down your big reason. Why? Why are you learning it? Okay. The next one is myself, of course. Instead of saying, oh, I wanna be able to talk to the people there in India in Hindi, I write down what I can do, okay, which is at least a short video or note review a day, at least 2 hours a week of learning it, right? That's what I can do. That's what I can control, okay? The result come out is according to how much you put in, how much you dedicate into it. Next one, if I can find one, of course, good. If not, I would use the first two, which is big reason and myself. But if I can find someone to learn something together, great. For example, if you are learning something together, learning a language, it doesn't need to be Hindi. It doesn't need to be Mandarin, which I'm going to teach. It's all fine. If you are learning something, comment down below. We can keep each other accountable. We can leave message, comment, and so on saying, hey, have you learned or reviewed something yet today? Right? That is very helpful. So it would be nice if you're learning together. It doesn't need to be the same thing I'm learning. It doesn't need to be the thing I'm going to teach in the video. So what I'm going to do for this series is I would teach Mandarin, but before that, I would say in that title or in that episode, let's treat it like a series. So in that episode, what I learned in Hindi, and then I will teach you the Mandarin way. Of course, I cannot be sure how my Hindi pronunciation is. It probably sucks, but it's okay. I'm gonna push myself to try to speak. Ooh, I will try to push myself to speak, to practice, and so on. If you are interested in having like a, what is that called? Virtual studying group with me, please let me know. I would be happy to have someone to learn together. Hopefully see you in the next episode of this series, which is hashtag LLT, Learn a Language for Travel, or Let's Learn Together. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.